So like I said, this is sent in by a player named Hawzy, and his question was when to switch off of Junkrat, because he almost always plays Junkrat. He wants to know whether that's a reasonable thing to do. And I'll answer that in a little bit, but for now let's just kind of focus on his general gameplay. Alright, so here we are, we're defending on Dorado, and some good little spam, just normal at this point. Most of the time teams just stand up here, like to poke down a little bit. Now at this point, it's getting a little close. It's getting a little close to the archway here, so we should really start to think about getting back and getting set up. But it looks like we're not really thinking about that too much. Jumping down here is very dangerous, obviously, unless if all 6 of your team jumps down, you do some giant coordinated effort, that's cool. But jumping down here by yourself is dangerous because it's 6v1, all that stuff. Preferably, you'd want to shimmy down over here to the left, which is why you need to leave a little bit early. So his Reinhardt, everyone is gone, and he's just chilling up here. And he's, you know, like I said, should be probably going back, getting set up, and all that stuff. Junkrat is a very strategic hero. He's not very tactical at all. You should probably have a plan of what you're going to do before you even start the game. So we die because we had kind of an awkward position. And if we, let's actually just go into this map real quick. So like I said, with Junkrat, you should be playing very strategically, not tactically. You should have your plan laid out before you even start the match. So for example, on Junkrat, I'm not actually a Junkrat player, but you know, I know enough to talk about it. So if we're playing Junkrat on Dorado, you have to have a plan. So obviously you spam up there, but that's not your real goal. You can say, okay, I'm going to stand here, and you have to think about, Junkrat can usually cover about 2 or 3 areas. So, you know, that's not entrance, but he could like cover these 3 areas pretty well, because that's what Junkrat does. He just denies space. That's it. You're not going and singling people out. You're just denying space. You're kind of, so you're saying like, okay, I'm going to deny that. I'm going to deny this, and I'm going to deny, you know, that or something like that. So you should go in saying, okay, just spam those 3 areas. Let's say this map is actually really good for Junkrat because it only has 2 entrances. So you can say, okay, I'm just going to spam this and that. That's it. So you just stand here, and this is all you do. It's actually really, it's not glamorous at all. You just spam, you alternate, you know, maybe you do 2 here, you do 2 here, and that's it. Very simple. And then you obviously throw that in sub too. So so let's check to see if Hawzy really has a plan in mind or if he's just kind of doing whatever. Because like I said, Junkrat is a very forward-thinking, planning-oriented hero. So let's respawn. Now the other team wound up taking the checkpoint, so we should already be a little bit back, because there's nothing we can really do at this point. And we're getting back, and so that's all good and well. Now here, depends on what your team wants to defend. Now, if your team wants to defend this corner, which is probably a little dangerous, maybe you defend this corner back here, a little bit behind us, then you should sit here and be like, okay, where am I going to spam? I'm going to spam here, I'm going to spam here. That's it. Very simple. So, Hawzy, and always be shooting as well. You should always be denying the area. We're going to see that he's getting into a little bit of trouble because he's playing like he's a regular DPS here. He's shooting at them. We do have a tire here. I think this is relying a little bit on the enemy team not seeing it. You can't always rely on that. It was an okay tire, but your tires should really be to deny, just to deny space and stuff, not necessarily for those big kill tires like that. So we're a little bit off to the side. Kind of crazy, not really sure what we're doing, and so our hero Hawzy winds up going down. So I say this about every hero to stay calm, but Junkrat in particular, you just sit back, do the same thing. You should already have your plan pre-planned, and for the tire, I like to have the tire because you can't rely on the enemy team just missing it. So instead of doing those cute, sneaky behind the back tires, always try, and here we're a little bit too close as well. We get caught by the Zarya, right? Always try to have the tires just be area denial tires. That is, you put it out, the other team is very scared to enter the area, and you can like stall it on the wall and stuff. Well, you can't really use Junkrat without feeding the healers and the Zarya. That's the downside of Junkrat. you can kind of predict it a little bit. Like you can be aware that the Zarya is going to be putting up her barrier and stuff, and try to prevent it that way by just stopping for a second. But overall, Junkrat is indeed, that is the weakness of Junkrat. And so here is the time in the VoD when his team is asking him to switch off. So I haven't been paying, he hasn't been pressing tab too much, but we see he has a Reinhardt, he has a Zenyatta, he has a Mercy, maybe? But overall, so see there, the enemy team just didn't shoot at the tire. I am looking forward to him pressing tab and actually seeing what his team composition is. But as far as Junkrat goes, he's actually not too bad here, because the enemy team comp is a Tracer, and Tracer is surprisingly kind of scared of Junkrat because you auto-hit her with your remote mine, essentially. She pretty much can't dodge that, and it chunks her for almost her entire HP bar. The tire is very good against a Mercy res, if you hold the tire for the Mercy res. Ooh, that was a very nice direct, by the way. So in general, Junkrat's actually pretty effective here, especially against their team. It's not too bad at all. You know, it's at the very least, it's not the worst thing you could pick. So you know, his team getting on him for picking Junkrat and stuff is not very warranted in this particular case. So here, he's actually doing a good job. He's standing back. He says, okay, I'm going to be denying these two corners here. So I'm just going to be shoot, 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 shoot. Maybe alternate a little bit more, right? But you can see he's doing pretty well. He's safe. Nothing really bad's happening. And overall, we're peachy. And so we have about 3 minutes, 30 seconds left. Here's where we start to get a little crazy, but it's okay. And now we can see how it starts to break down. So because he's clearly not going into this with a plan. He's coming into this and kind of playing very tactically, kind of going crazy, and he's not getting too much done. He got really insanely lucky direct hit on the Tracer there, that who blinked in front of him. But overall, that was a very spaghetti fight, and you can see how that could have gone badly. Once we start to, and now we gonna get hit. Oh man, this guy is like has some special cloak of invisibility or something that lets the other team not see him. But yeah, this is not how we want to play Junkrat. We play a little bit calmer, a little bit further back, because man, it's crazy. I can't believe he didn't die. That's insane. Truly, truly insane. But this isn't something that's going to happen consistently, right? And especially if you climb further, you definitely would have died at some point there. Laraf asks, the enemy team does have a phah, which is usually a big problem for Junkrat. Yes. But you have to remember, it's just one hero. It's just one hero. So as long as the phah isn't completely decimating your entire team for the entire match, Junkrat's still fine. You can let the rest go. And yes, Junkrat does have an insane personality, but ironically, you want to keep it calm when you're playing. And so we'll just see one more fight here. One more fight.
They're going this way again.
Oh. I think, yeah. So that was going to be a good tire, because it would have... remember, Junkrat's ultimate charges very quickly. So you always want to use the tire pretty much every time you get a chance. Now, he got unlucky there, kind of, because the Reaper went around the corner. But at the same time, it was a little bit of a forward spot to use the tire. The good thing that you can do with the tire is... I don't have my game up anymore. But you can use the tire and just push it up against a wall somewhere and just leave it there. Because the enemy team hears the noise, right? Which makes them very scared. And it makes it so they can't really push up. If you just... Like if... You know, this isn't the space, spot you'd use the tire. But if you have the tire just sit here, just bumping up against the wall, the enemy team can't push through this corner, or else they're just going to get immediately blown up. Alright, so they need to defend for one more push, which means we should especially be playing further back. That was very dangerous. He could have died there. But we're getting lucky. And remember, these are things that are inconsistent. Like, sure, I would say that on average he might live through that half the time. But half the time, he would die. Maybe lose the match. So his team gets pushes through that as well. And you can see he finally does manage to die because he's so far forward. And dies to something kind of silly too. But it looks like we're going to hold and hopefully get a full hold here. We should at least. Okay, so again, we're forward again.
They're going to the top.
And this is pretty dangerous. His diva managed to save him, which is fortunate. But still, very dangerous. Living life on the edge. But I think that... Alright. And now he's going to finally die because of his forward antics. Something I'm seeing now is that Junkrat... Okay, let's go back in. Junkrat... this game's been up the entire time. I thought I closed out of it. So Junkrat actually has a lot of range. Alright? If I want to spam that corridor, okay, that's fine. I can do it. Look at that. I mean, it depends on how you angle it, but look, I'm spamming the corridor. This is fine. Something I'm seeing Hawzy do a lot is do this. So if he's shooting at someone, instead of doing this, which is what you're supposed to be doing, which is, you know, so whatever, just prevent a Widowmaker or something from shooting at you, or an Ana, he's doing this. Every time he shoots at someone, he's going forward and forward and more forward until he's like in the corridor that he's spamming. And that's something that is a problem. And we're going to see it here. So you can see this is perfect. This is a great spot. Best spot ever for Junkrat. You're up on a little bit of high ground. You can shoot down, hit everything just fine. But instead we're going to move up. Move up. And you've heard me say this several times that we're too far forward. I mean, wow! Whoa! Hawzy, you're a maniac.
They got off. Nice.
And it worked too. So you just ruined my entire review by just making it work, right? But no, of course, if we look at that one more time, you know, this is not something that's consistent. You can't just be like, oh yeah, I'll just walk through the Reinhardt shield, no problem. I'm sure nothing bad will happen. It's not always fine though. So that's that is the only just that one side he sent in. So they wound up winning, which is good. Normally these VOD reviews are losing, but it could have easily been lost if he had actually died in his forward position. So the two things to take from that are stay at a decent range with Junkrat. Don't ever go forward because all of your stuff is very long range. Very, very long range. So stay at that safe range, no problem. And also, kind of, this will naturally occur if you stand at range, but just pick out a couple places, like maybe here. In this case, it's only there, but you know, just pick out maybe a couple places and say, okay, I'm just gonna keep spamming those, spamming, no problem. Instead of this crazy on the fly doing stuff. Yeah, that's pretty much all Junkrat is, guys. Okay, so the skill in Junkrat is the arcs is very important. Getting the proper bounces and arcs and stuff. That's something that I'm not good at because I don't play a lot of Junkrat. Obviously, trap placements, mine placements, hitting stuff with your mine, good tire usage. A lot of Junkrat is in kind of stuff you can't see. So if you watch a pro player play Junkrat, for example, you'd be like, this is stupid. This is so easy. I could do it. It's so easy. A lot of it is very subtle stuff. Subtle stuff. So, Hawzy, that's what I tell to you. Stand further back. Be a little more safe. And as far as playing Junkrat in a comp, you know, Junkrat isn't an in hero. He's not a Reddit hero, so people will tend to not like you playing him all the time. But overall, Junkrat fits into most compositions. He's not very good in large open fields. He's not very good when they have a Pharaoh, let's say, and the Pharaoh's just destroying you. But overall, I would probably say in 75% of the time, especially on defense, Junkrat is okay. So guys, I have some big news for those of you who play on Xbox. CEL Gaming is holding an Xbox tournament with minor cash prizes on January 7th, and I'll be casting it on Twitch. If people like this tournament, then there's a strong chance it'll turn into a full-on league and include PS4 players as well. The link is in the description. I'll see you there. As always, like if you liked it, which I hope you did. Stay positive and have a great day. Peace out, guys.